time price graph with the story it tells. So again, we're going to take a look at where our graphs are and also jot some notes to remind us of why we made those final decisions. So letter A says the price declined at a steady rate. So with time being the x-axis and price being the y-axis, we know that the line should be sloping downwards for it to decline. And steady rate is also representation of a straight line, always, always. Oops. So that leaves us with graph 2. And we can jot those notes in there. Steady rate was a key factor, and also the decline was a key factor in identifying our graph. Great. Letter B says the price did not change. So our line should not be fluctuating up and down on the y-axis. And that's clearly our graph 5, where our data is horizontal. There's no fluctuation along the y-axis. So that would be, graph 5 would go with letter B. Letter C says the price rose rapidly, leveled off for a while, and then declined rapidly. If you look at the shape of the graphs, there's only one graph that rises in price and then declines, and that would be graph 1. Now, a tricky situation might be if you saw a graph decline rapidly first and then incline. Now, it would be up to you to recognize the difference between the inclining first and the declining first. So just so you know, when the price is on the x-axis, as the price gets farther up the x-axis, it's increasing. If you start at the top and you work your way down, you're decreasing, right? It should be pretty straightforward. So what we could say is that the order of the rising price and then the decline in the price is only represented by a curved graph, right? It looks almost like a half circle. So for letter D, it says the price rose at a steady rate. Again, we know our straight lines is a steady rate, and the price is rising, so it should be working its way up from left to right. So I'm just going to copy my note with the steady rate, but I'm going to say there's an incline or a rising price. And letter E says the price dropped rapidly at first and then at a slower rate. Now, by default, all we have left is graph 3, so that's going to be our final answer. However, it's important to recognize where on graph 3 we know this information comes from, just in case there wasn't a very clear response. So graph 3 specifically shows the price dropped rapidly. That's a more vertical line. The vertical line represents a rapid drop. And then a more horizontal line represents more of a slower decline. And that's, those are the key pieces of graph 3 and how we're going to represent in letter E. So I hope you have all your notes completed. I will also post the stage 3 activity online. Again, is your choice whether you want to redo that. I will give you increased credit for your classroom grade from Friday if you choose to resubmit stage 3 of your classwork. So Those are your notes for today. I hope you have a good weekend, and I'll see you next week.